Hello everyone and welcome to game 3 in this series between TSL Hyun and ExcuseMe. Now I don't know for sure if this is in fact game 3 or if they perhaps posted the replays out of order. Always a definite possibility here as the game does get underway. TSL Hyun spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom left hand side of the map. ExcuseMe now spawning on the top right hand side of the map. And this is pretty much going to be what it looks like to be a standard game so far, unless we don't see an overlord from either of these players. So far, game 1 and game 2 has been a show of who can try to go for cheese and who is more effective with it. It looks like ExcuseMe opted to go into 10 drones. We'll have a drone up a little bit more quickly, but then we'll be delayed in terms of his overlord now. Wait, no, is he going for a 10 pool? It looks like ExcuseMe may be trying to go for a 10 pool, and that is going to be it is going to be a 10 pool here on Cloud Kingdom. So Cloud Kingdom 10 pool, 3 very, very different build orders in each of these games. TSL Hyun's now sitting at 13/18. We need to see an overlord come out from ExcuseMe as well. As soon as that overlord is up, he can start trying to catch up economically, but I don't know if ExcuseMe is going to really get much mileage, as we now see an extractor also being placed down. So an overlord is being trained, more drones are being trained. You see the supply difference, 15/18 compared to 10/10. But then again, Hyun does not have a spawning pool or an extractor being built, and with that, without a spawning pool or an extractor being built, it's a little bit deceiving in terms of how much supply Hyun really has. Hyun now sitting at 14/18. Each drone used to build a building is a sacrifice in terms of the economy, as we now see 6 Zerglings already being trained. Now we may also see a Baneling's Nest to follow this up. Offensive Banelings could be very effective, and we'll see if Hyun is going to be able to defend against it. So far, we see that there is no gas coming in from Hyun, so Hyun perhaps trying to do a little bit more of an economic opening, as the Zerglings are already out across the map. Are they going to reveal themselves to that overlord? No, they are not. So taking a very different route than normal, as opposed to running down this ramp, which would have been spotted by this overlord, simply just going to run with the Zerglings. We can see ExcuseMe still adding in more Zerglings. Meanwhile, Hyun does not have his spawning pool up yet. It will be about 27 seconds or so before those Zerglings are ready to go. And what are these Zerglings doing? The Zerglings are waiting for their buddies, and that may be the mistake that Hyun needed, as Hyun is now getting some free time to build up that spawning pool. So a huge mistake there. 6 Zerglings, which could have been just doing a lot of damage here, and now you see ExcuseMe trying to get in even more Zerglings. So 2 Zerglings, 4 Zerglings are now making their way down, and the timing on this actually looks pretty standard. Hyun now sees 6 Zerglings, so he may suspect that something is wrong, but he's not going to expect these 12 Zerglings. Alright, 12 Zerglings now making their way in. We are going into a spine crawler, but that spine crawler may get taken down, as these Zerglings are going to get there much more quickly than he expects. And here we go. The attack already beginning. That spine crawler taking a lot of damage already. The Zerglings are trying to battle it up, and now more Zerglings are coming in. What's going to happen here? The spine crawler is almost nearly done, 150 hit points or so, as the Zerglings is simply going to try to do a surround here. It looks like the spine crawler is going to get canceled. Yes, it does, as there are now simply too many Zerglings. Zerglings not trying to battle up with the Queen. The Queen do have a range of 5. One Queen gets easily taken down. More Zerglings coming in. ExcuseMe could perhaps get another surround, and the Queen on the high ground, which would be a very, very heavy hit to production, as well as those Zerglings are still battling it up. Zerglings, blue Zerglings versus pink. Hyun now trying to come in, and oh, what is this? It looks like Hyun is not going to take any true economic damage, as Hyun, oh, what is this? More Zerglings still battling in. Oh, this could be bad. The Zerglings are still battling up. A spawn lava does land, as Hyun is going to have 3 Queens defend. And a beautiful, beautiful saving on that one Queen. The 13 down to 5, down to 1 hit point. A beautiful execution. And yeah, an execution by ExcuseMe to take down and execute that Queen. Down to 11 hit points. Zerglings only needed 3 more shots. And let's take a look at the losses. Hyun losing a bit more, but then again, the economy is still better for Hyun, so I'm not sure who actually comes out ahead, as the Zerglings are not going to be able to do a lot of damage to this hatchery. Hatchery already completed. That means we're going to have a nice larva influx coming in from Hyun. The Zerglings now trying to come down as well. Zerglings are down on the low ground. Queens with a range of 5, so effective against those Zerglings, as now more and more Zerglings are still being added to this group. 18/14, so ExcuseMe has the economic advantage now. Yes, he has the economic advantage, and no, wait, sorry, 14. So no, ExcuseMe has 9, 14 to 9. Okay, so 20 Zerglings to 19, so it is pretty even. Hyun still has the economic advantage as we are now seeing destructible rocks being taken down. Alright, so Zerglings and Queens are in position. There are double spine crawlers here on the front door. I believe Hyun will be able to defend against anything that ExcuseMe tries to execute with right now, as Hyun is not going for gas. He's playing very defensive, but right now defensive banelings may be the better tactic. One baneling can take down multiple Zerglings, especially if they're caught on the ramp in a very good position. Hyun now moving around with these spine crawlers into a position that actually covers more of the ramp here to make sure that the Zerglings are not able to break their way through. Banelings, however, now being added as well, and you can see that the creep tumors are already laid down, so the banelings may just try to splash their way in here, perhaps take down a couple of these keyboards, perhaps even try to take down a queen. Oh, beautiful transfusion going back and forth on those queens, and that was a huge play. Huge play by Hyun, and there is the GG as well. So ExcuseMe losing 3 quick games to Hyun here and the third game here on Cloud Kingdom, and I really think it was Hyun with that brilliant transfusions there. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a longer game, but no, not at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at that attack once more, and let's see how it was really executed and what really went down. Each of these queens had 1 transfusion to give. And here we go. So you're going to see the Zerglings now try to make their way in. The queens are getting in a lot of damage, and the babies are just going to try to crash their way in. Crash their way in. There's a transfusion on each of them, and the transfusions on each of them just keep them alive. Another baby tries to splash in right behind it, but simply not going to be enough. And then the Zerglings counterattack, and that was absolutely huge. ExcuseMe losing the 3 straight games to TSL Hyun after being on the receiving end of an aggressive attack, trying to be aggressive himself, and him falling as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3 and this best of 5 series between these 2 players.